So let's talk about what is OSINT, also known as open source intelligence. Open source intelligence, or OSINT, is data collected from publicly available sources to be used in an intelligence context. In the intelligence community, the term open refers to overt, publicly available sources, as opposed to covert or clandestine sources. It is not related to open source software or public intelligence. And that's the Wikipedia entry for OSINT. So, what can we find with OSINT? Well, we can find a lot of different information. We can find things like email addresses for a person, phone numbers, addresses, people's identities based on certain information, background checks, social media account information, criminal records. We could figure out potentially if we're being scammed or someone else is being scammed, and a lot of other information. So the question is, who really uses OSINT? Well, OSINT's used by a variety of people, including law enforcement, security professionals, malicious hackers, non-malicious hackers, businesses, investigators, journalists, home users. There's a wide variety of people that will use open source intelligence. So there's a lot of ways to collect information. There's Tracelabs Linux is an operating system designed for open source intelligence. Maltego, Google Advanced Operators, and we're going to be getting into a lot of these different tools. Again, some are going to be built into the VM that we're going to be using. Others are going to be websites, and some are going to be actually taking it from online and installing these different tools. And again, we'll go over how these tools work, why we're using them, the situations that we would find ourselves potentially using these tools, and use cases and such. Now, just because I present certain tools to you doesn't mean that you absolutely have to use these tools. As you get more comfortable with open source intelligence, these various tools that are out there, depending on your unique use cases, say, for example, someone doing background checks on someone is probably not going to use the exact same tool set as someone, say, searching for a missing person or hunting down a criminal or checking a potential insurance scam. So again, as you become more familiar with open source intelligence and start building out your tool set, you're going to start figuring out what tools are going to fit your unique case versus someone else. So by piecing information together, we could build a bigger picture, and that's really what OSINT does. So say we have a Facebook username. Well, what can we gather from that? Well, we could take a look at the posts that they're making. We could potentially identify the user's emails, data breach dumps. We could find out people's password hashes. From those password hashes, we could find a potentially unique password. Grabbing that unique password, we could see where else that password was used and potentially find out what other websites and accounts that they have. From a user's real email address, we may potentially be able to find the user's real identity and location. So basically, we gather and analyze data on our target. That data can lead to other users that interact with our target. By collecting information, we can ultimately build a broader picture of what we're looking for. In terms of employers may check their employee's social media account. For example, this unfortunate KFC worker that posted this photo of them working at KFC onto Facebook and promptly got fired. So this is something that, say, if KFC has a division doing open source intelligence, keeping an eye on the public-facing part of their business and their employees, something like this would be useful. They would hopefully be able to find something embarrassing like this, find it, have it taken down before it can reflect badly on the company. Unfortunately, it looks like this one got out way before that, and obviously didn't end well for that worker. Now, for people on dating sites, in this example, a woman on a dating site, They may use open source intelligence to verify the individual they're considering going on a date, to see how accurately they're representing themselves. Photos that people are using on their profile, different information that they're giving. A person could potentially use that information and say, take the photo, do a reverse image search, and we'll get into what reverse image searching is. Essentially, we take that photo, we feed it into Google, Bing, Yandex, all these other tools, and it comes back with where else that photo was used. So in this particular example, this woman might be able to figure out, hey, that photo that person's showing doesn't match the name that they put on their profile. Matter of fact, this came from someone else's Facebook account that lives in a different state with a different age, and this profile looks really fake. So that can actually save them a lot of headache and potentially getting themselves in a dangerous situation. Law enforcement or network admins may use open source intelligence to go after a malicious hacker. So there's a lot of different use cases for open source intelligence, and we're going to get into the various different use cases. Again, get into the tools, methodology, and whatnot. And again, I'm really excited you're here checking this out. So I'll see you in the next video.